It's my first whiteboard of the new year. Let me give you a caution. This is a sobering one. It lays out a real challenge, but it also lays out the opportunity to overcome that challenge if we all take it on seriously. What's the sobering caution? It's that 2024, the battle for democracy is obviously the fever pitch. And it's not just about beating Trump, although that's a big part of it. It's much bigger than that. And here's the worst part. The scale of the attack on democracy is enormous. And it's generally bigger than the scale of those defending democracy. Why is it so big? Well, you have billions of dollars being invested by corporations and certain interests to prop up the attack on democracy in many different ways. You've got officials in government and states all over this country and in Congress who literally, their full-time occupation is to undermine democracy in so many ways. It's what they do, it's what they focus on. And so you have government itself doing it, and you have this happening everywhere, not just a few places, but all over. So it's a very big scale attacking democracy. The scale supporting democracy is generally not as big. You don't have the kind of massive investment for democracy that we see against democracy. So it's more like volunteering and charity versus profit taking. It's split the pots versus massive amounts from the Koch brothers. You have people generally volunteering to do this work. You don't have government doing nearly as much for democracy as you do against democracy. So the scales are off, folks, and this is largely happening in a few swing states, not all the states. How are we going to scale up? Because we need to scale up to win. Well, it starts with recognizing that there are, in the end, far more of us who support democracy than there are them. But too often, we're not putting all of our own footprints into lifting democracy in the way we need to. We put some time into it. We put some money into it. A few toes of our footprint. We all have to scale up our battle for democracy to get it up to here. And when there are more of us than them, that's how we do it. Think about your footprint of influence, the nonprofits you volunteer for, where you work, your social networks, who you know in politics, are you in government? We need to start figuring out how do we apply all those parts of our footprint to lifting democracy. If we do that, and I go through examples in my book, on my Substack, we can finally scale up our battle for democracy.